Anna went in a different direction. But I love the fact that, you know, Manny is younger and he's
How much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he?
Like a month or a year or 10 years?
No,
or
5 years. It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host, Sonny Hostin, has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud.
You can't have a felon, a liar, a serial cheater. You know, he had Melania next to him, his third wife, who he cheated with Stormy Daniels on.
Sonny Hostin, who I think is truly the nastiest woman on television and a genuine racist and not that bright, despite her law degree and everything else. She found out a little bit.
If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sonny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
We are more collaborative than men. I think there have been studies that say that women have much closer friendship relationships than men do.
Because again, I think we have to make a differentiate gay men.
No, gay men are
in their own category.
Sonny Hostin has never been a stranger to controversy. But this time, the buzz around her is louder than ever. The talk isn't just about her. It's about her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, and the shocking rumors that are swirling around him. If even a fraction of what's being said turns out to be true, their entire world is about to be flipped upside down. This story is messy, dramatic, and packed with jaw-dropping twists. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into the chaos unfolding in Sonny Hostin's life. But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now let's get going.
Uh-oh, Miss Sonny Hostin's husband, Mr. Hostin, is in hot water for medical fraud. And I think Sonny may have opened Pandora's box when she said this on The View.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, you know, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, you know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, you know, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies.
Which a lot of folks were looking to see if there was.
That was a harder charge to prove.
The felony charges, the max sentence is 4 years, but this is a first-time offender. It's a non-violent crime. It's a Class C felony. Every legal expert I've talked to has said most likely a fine and probation if he's even convicted.
I'll tell you why you're wrong as this legal expert. That is wrong. And I will
he's
tell
not
you,
going to jail over
I will
that.
tell you.
Sonny Hostin I think she went to Binghamton undergrad, and she went to Notre Dame Law School, which is a great law school. Her son right now is at Harvard. That son she wants us to think is sitting there oppressed, who she's got to fight on behalf of because America is so awful to him. They're educating him right now. This is Sonny Hostin's home in this shitty country that she can't stand, that doesn't treat Black people like Sonny well. She let People magazine feature her home. Look at this dump. This country sucks. She went to Notre Dame Law School. She makes millions on The View. Her son's at Harvard.
Husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, is making headlines not for saving lives, but for being named in one of New York's largest RICO lawsuits.
Half-baked, and you went on stage with it, and it's nothing
Just
there.
go for it.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious.
Let's get into the biggest shocker. Rumors are flying that Dr. Hostin has secretly made a deal with the FBI. Yes, you heard that right. The same man who has stood by Sonny's side for years is now allegedly working with authorities in a massive insurance fraud case. According to sources, he's admitted to playing a role in a scheme that reportedly pulled in hundreds of millions of dollars through fraudulent claims.
Sonny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host, Sonny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases.
But here's where it gets even wilder. This supposed deal comes with a massive catch. If the rumors are true, their entire fortune is on the line. We're talking about everything. Homes, bank accounts, all of it, completely wiped out. And the amount being thrown around? A staggering $500 million in damages that he's expected to pay back. Just imagine, one of the most well-known power couples could be on the verge of losing absolutely everything. According to the documents, he wasn't just involved in shady dealings, he was knowingly providing fake medical services, including unnecessary arthroscopic surgeries. But here's where it gets even messier. The drama doesn't stop with Emmanuel. There's talk that in a desperate move to save himself, he might have dragged Sonny down with him.
If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sonny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing there.
Just go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there.
Legally, a spouse can't be forced to testify against their partner in court. But here's the catch. He wouldn't need to. The rumors suggest he's already handed over enough information to the FBI to tie Sonny to his alleged crimes, even without taking the stand. If that's true, things could take a serious turn for her. After all, she spent years building her reputation as a legal expert and a voice of reason on The View. But now, she might be looking at her own legal troubles. This is the kind of plot twist straight out of a courtroom thriller, except it's all happening in real life.
Names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney Daniel Twites denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits.
Now let's talk about the kind of case we're dealing with here. This isn't just any fraud case, it falls under the RICO Act, a law typically used to go after organized crime. And get this, it's reportedly one of the biggest RICO cases ever filed in New York. That's bigger than the mafia.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been for years lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show?
Looking deeper into the allegations, Emmanuel is just one of nearly 200 defendants accused of being part of a massive scheme to scam insurance companies like American Transit Insurance. The charges claim he performed unnecessary surgeries and billed for treatments that either never happened or were ridiculously overpriced. If even a fraction of this turns out to be true, the fallout is going to be huge.
We are more collaborative than men. I think there have been studies that say that women have much closer friendship relationships than men do.
Because I think we have to make a differentiate gay men.
No, gay men are in their own category.
Yeah, but we're not married to gay men, okay?
Oh.
But women have conversations about their feelings. Men talk about sports, cars, all that stuff.
I don't know. My husband talks about his feelings with his
Maybe he's gay.
Perfect segue.
As if things weren't messy enough, there's talk that these fraudulent schemes weren't just about making money. They allegedly involved kickbacks disguised as dividends and other payments. And this isn't some minor slap on the wrist situation. Under the RICO Act, damages in cases like this can be tripled, meaning whatever the court decides they owe could skyrocket. For Emmanuel and the others caught up in this mess, that could mean coughing up a staggering $1.5 billion. No wonder he's supposedly scrambling for a way out. And here's the real kicker. He wasn't just scamming insurance companies. According to reports, he was targeting taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers, performing unnecessary surgeries and billing for fake medical services in return.
Uh-oh. Miss Sunny Hostin's husband, Mr. Hostin, is in hot water for medical fraud. And I think Sunny may have opened Pandora's box when she said this on The View.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, Doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
Did she just accidentally tell on her husband? Because this just dropped last night. Her husband is being sued as a co-defendant in a very large RICO case against healthcare professionals who are overbilling and committing fraud. And her husband is one of those people.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Emmanuel Hostin is among nearly 200 defendants named in this case. He is accused of getting kickbacks by performing surgery and fraudulently billing a company that insures taxi companies, Uber, and Lyft drivers.
I mean, in his defense, maybe he was just trying to get his reparations?
Now let's shift gears to Sunny. She's standing by her husband in public, shutting down the accusations as completely baseless. She's even accused American Transit of trying to drag her family's name through the mud just to save their failing business. Sunny hasn't been holding back either. She's reportedly planning to countersue for defamation, demanding an apology and financial compensation for the damage to their reputation. Behind closed doors, the situation might not be as picture perfect as she wants people to believe. Rumors are swirling that Emmanuel feels completely betrayed, claiming Sunny is more worried about protecting her public image than actually standing by him. And if that wasn't enough, there's speculation that he's not going down alone. Some say he's been hinting that Sunny has her own secrets, ones that could come spilling out if this case makes it to trial. And the drama doesn't stop there. Insiders say the Hostin's marriage is hanging by a thread, with Emmanuel allegedly furious at Sunny for what he sees as her lack of concern over his situation. And just when you thought things couldn't get messier, rumors are swirling that Sunny might have a secret lover. Whether there's any truth to that, or it's just more tabloid gossip, one thing is clear. Their relationship is not as solid as Sunny makes it seem on TV.
Sunny Hostin I think she went to Binghamton undergrad, and she went to Notre Dame Law School, which is a great law school. Her son right now is at Harvard. That son she wants us to think is sitting there oppressed, who she's got to fight on behalf of because America is so awful to him. They're educating him right now at Harvard University. And Jason, would you take a look at this? Because I'm going to guess, I haven't been to your house down in Tennessee, but I'm going to guess it doesn't look like this. This is Sunny Hostin's home in this shitty country that she can't stand, that doesn't treat Black people like Sunny well. She let People magazine feature her home. Look at this dump. This country sucks. She went to Notre Dame Law School. She makes millions on The View. Her son's at Harvard. I'm sure her daughter's at private school on her way to some Ivy League. This is where Sunny lives. And F off, America. I can't stand how you've kept us all in chains. That's her messaging.
But let's talk about Sunny's own role in all of this. There's no solid proof tying her directly to the fraud, but legal experts are starting to question whether she might still be caught up in it somehow. Given how closely she and Emmanuel's finances are linked, some believe she could become a person of interest. And let's be real. Someone as sharp as Sunny had to notice if something shady was going on, right? So now the big question is, did she simply look the other way, or was she actively involved? That's what everyone, from analysts to everyday viewers, is starting to wonder. And here's what makes this whole thing even wilder. Sunny has built her entire career on being a legal expert, someone who breaks down complex issues for The View's audience with clarity and confidence. Now, she's at the center of a legal scandal that's as messy as the cases she's analyzed on TV.
Sunny Hostin today with the following query.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and Black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms? And why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to says he's going to deport the majority of his community?
White women like being called uneducated white women. I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this, right?
By that, she means non-college educated women, which in her world means you're uneducated. Mm-hmm. You're a dumbass. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm thinking of Charlie Kirk. He did not go to college. He is not dumb. He's responsible in large part for this win today. It's just so offensive.
She's usually the one keeping things in check, breaking down legal issues and bringing a lawyer's perspective to heated debates. But now, Sunny is in unfamiliar territory. She's on the defensive, With her husband caught in a major scandal and her own name being pulled into this mess, the situation is turning into something straight out of a legal drama. And let's be real, the irony isn't lost on anyone. A legal expert potentially facing legal troubles herself. Viewers are watching this unfold with a mix of shock and curiosity. Sunny and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are gearing up for what could be the biggest legal fight of their lives. The accusations against Emmanuel? Federal insurance fraud. And these aren't just serious, they're career-ending. If the case holds up in court, the fallout will be harsh. For Emmanuel, it could mean losing his medical license, or worse, facing jail time. For Sunny, it's not just about money, it's about her reputation, her career, and everything she's worked for. As for their family, the level of scrutiny and public humiliation could be overwhelming.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host, Sonny Hostin, has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run these women. Tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud, and I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance.
And they're talking about threatening him with insurance fraud. I would say you could get about 20 years in prison, so that's a death sentence for him.
What makes this whole situation even more fascinating is how it exposes the gap between public image and reality. To the outside world, the Hostins have always seemed like the ultimate power couple. Successful, respected, and solid. But as more details come out, that perfect image is starting to crumble. The big question now is, can they survive this storm together, or will this scandal tear them apart? And they aren't backing down without a fight. Reports say they're calling the lawsuit nothing more than a cash grab and are planning to countersue for millions. Some sources claim they're aiming for at least $5 million in damages.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
And Sunny's problems don't stop with her husband's legal drama. She's also caught up in lawsuits and controversies tied to her role on The View, from defamation claims to heated arguments with guests and co-hosts. Sunny's professional life seems just as chaotic as her personal one. But we'll get into all that in the next section, where we dive into the growing legal battles and controversies Sunny Hostin is facing, and what it all means for her future. Now let's dig deeper into the storm surrounding Sunny Hostin. If you thought the drama with her husband's alleged FBI deal and their shaky marriage was wild, wait until you hear what's happening in her career. Sunny's reputation and even her spot on The View are hanging by a thread. She's caught in a whirlwind of legal troubles and public backlash that could change how the world sees her. The stakes have never been higher, and the fallout from these controversies could shake everything.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
One of the biggest stories making waves involves a lawsuit against Sunny related to her time on The View. Remember John Fetterman, the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania? He's no stranger to fiery debates. But his lawsuit against Sunny and the producers of The View has taken things to a whole new level. Fetterman is accusing Sunny of defaming him during a live show, saying she made claims about his actions and motives that he says were totally false. While the exact comments are being kept quiet due to the ongoing case, insiders say Sunny may have crossed the line, sparking a backlash both online and in the political world. This isn't just a slap on the wrist either. If Fetterman wins, the financial hit could be huge, not just for Sunny, but for the network behind The View as well. But beyond the legal drama, this whole situation raises some big questions about free speech and accountability in the the media. How far can someone go with their opinions before it crosses the line?
And thinking about that, and Donald Trump saying things that this country would be a meritocracy, you're talking about a man who didn't become the president of the United States because of merit. He had no political experience whatsoever. He had no business experience. He was given everything that he has. He is a legacy hire. He is, if anything, a DEI hire, a didn't earn it hire.
And speaking of controversy, let's talk about the latest drama involving Melania Trump. Yep, Sunny has stirred things up again, this time with her on-air comments about the former First Lady. She didn't hold back when talking about Melania's rumored feelings about her time in the White House, even throwing in a now infamous remark about how Melania supposedly hates Christmas and has no interest in being the First Lady again.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the First Lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the First Lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly. That's why I say allegedly.
So I told Sunny, yeah.
Now, some people brushed it off as just another opinion, but Melania's supporters, not so much. The backlash was immediate, with outrage spreading across social media. And then came the real kicker, a wild claim from a YouTube channel saying that Melania had won a $900 million lawsuit against Sunny and The View. There's no actual proof of this, but the rumor alone has people wondering if Sunny might be facing some serious legal and reputational risks. And the lawsuits? Oh, they don't stop there. Sunny's personal life is under the microscope too, thanks to her public defense of her husband. Critics are accusing her of using her platform on The View to sway public opinion in his favor. Some even think her comments could be seen as an attempt to interfere with the legal process. Sunny, of course, has dismissed all of this as nonsense, but the accusations are definitely making things worse, putting her credibility as a legal expert in question. The question now is, how much more can she take before it all comes crashing down? What makes things even messier for Sunny is how the public is reacting. Social media is on fire, with people split over whether she's being unfairly targeted or if she's just facing the same scrutiny she dishes out. Some fans think she's only in the spotlight because she's outspoken and isn't afraid to tackle tough topics. But her critics, they argue that her seat on The View gives her way too much power over the narrative.
Yeah. But there's a point there because there were millions and millions of people that felt heard. And that's what I'm trying to lock into. It won't change my stance, or maybe it will. I'm open to someone trying to convince me.
That Donald Trump is good for people?
If that's what you're hearing, you're missing my whole...
And now, a new hashtag is making waves. Hashtag accountability for Sunny. Her critics are demanding that the network hold her to the same ethical standards she's always preaching about. The irony? It's hard to ignore. The legal expert who spent years breaking down high-profile cases is now the one under the microscope. But that's not all. Behind the scenes, things aren't looking much better. There are whispers that Sunny's professional relationships are starting to crack. Insiders claim that producers at The View are frustrated with all the negative press she's bringing to the show. And advertisers? Some are reportedly getting cold feet, with at least one major sponsor thinking about pulling out.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies-infested henhouse.
Sure, The View thrives on bold opinions and heated debates. But with lawsuits, backlash, and nonstop controversy, even the network might be reaching its limit. Could this be the beginning of the end for Sunny's time on the show? At this point, it's getting harder to ignore that possibility. Sunny's legal troubles aren't the only thing making waves. Her image is taking a serious hit, too. For years, she built a reputation as a bold and insightful commentator who never shied away from controversy. But lately, her words are stirring up more backlash than discussion. Take her recent comments about Melania Trump supposedly trying to sabotage her husband's political career. Some viewers loved the blunt take, but others weren't having it. They accused her of making baseless claims and blurring the line between opinion and defamation. And the backlash? Harsh. People are demanding she apologize. But so far, Sunny's standing her ground.
So the cackling hens of The View were talking about why they believe that there is no longer any patriotism amongst Americans and why they are okay with that, because America is so horrible. And here's what Sunny Hostin had to say.
And so as a woman of color with a 6'2" black kid in college, I don't see that part of American exceptionalism. I'm sorry. No. I think this country has a lot of problems.
It's the irony for me, guys. So here we have Sunny Hostin, a very rich, wealthy, liberal woman who has benefited from the American system and capitalism, complaining about capitalism.
And then there's the drama on The View. Things behind the scenes. Not looking great. Insiders say tensions are boiling over, and it's not just the usual on-air debates. Real friction is building. Reports claim she's been butting heads with co-hosts like Joy Behar and Anna Navarro, arguing about everything from politics to how she's handling her husband's legal mess. With the network feeling the heat from all the controversy, people are starting to wonder how much longer can Sunny hold on to her seat at The View. But this isn't just about Sunny. This situation raises bigger questions about the media's role in shaping public opinion and the responsibility that comes with having a platform. As one of the leading voices on The View, she doesn't just share opinions, she influences millions of viewers. And that influence? It comes with expectations. Critics argue that she hasn't exactly lived up to those expectations, whether it's her approach to sensitive topics or accusations of bias. People are questioning whether the line should be drawn between free speech and accountability. And let's be real, that's a debate that won't be settled anytime soon.
Rob, you can stop it. By the way, she's talking about the whole Luigi Mangione and all that situation. And mind you, she is not implicated in the lawsuit at all. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show?
Now, where does that leave Sunny? On one hand, she's a veteran in the industry, with a loyal fan base and a reputation for taking on tough conversations. But on the other, the lawsuits, the backlash, the behind-the-scenes tension, it's all piling up. Her career and reputation are hanging in the balance, and at this point, anything could happen. So, will Sunny make it through this storm and come out on top? Or is this just the beginning of the end? Nobody knows for sure, but one thing's certain, everyone's watching. Some critics aren't holding back either. They pointed out that Sunny has built her brand on calling out America's flaws, constantly talking about issues like racism and harshness. And now that she's the one under scrutiny, well, let's just say not everyone is feeling sympathetic. But this story is far from over. The legal battles, the career struggles, the personal drama, it's all tangled together in a way that makes it impossible to look away. Whether you love her, hate her, or just enjoy a wild celebrity scandal, there's no denying that Sunny Hostin's life is unfolding like a real-life soap opera. So what happens next? Will her marriage survive? Will she keep her spot on The View? And most importantly, how does this all end? Stick around because this drama is just getting started. Let us know what you think in the comments. Can Sunny turn things around, or is this the start of her downfall? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy celebrity updates. Until next time, stay tuned.